Hey guys, Stephen Cox here. Today we're going to learn how to change our strings on our electric bass. So the first thing we need to know is what we need to do this. For me, I have my bass guitar. Obviously it still has the old strings on it right now. I have my pack of strings. I have a tuner. Clip-on tuners are nice. I'm using clip-on tuner. And then I have this lovely device that has a string winder, but more importantly, it has a wire cutter on the other end. So I'm going to use this to snip the strings to make sure they're the right length. Okay. So first what we're going to do is we're going to unwind the strings. So figure out which way to loosen it. We're going to start with the G string. Now I only do one string at a time, and I'll tell you why. The tension on your neck based on the strings will change a lot if you take all the strings off. And over time, that change in tension could affect wear and tear on your neck. So it's better to do it one at a time so the tension remains fairly similar. Okay. So after we've loosened that G string enough to pull off, I said G string. What I'm going to do is I'm going to note the length of it before I take it off. So I go ahead and I take out the G string on the new pack. Takes a while to open strings. Okay, so now this says the green string is the G string. So take the one with the green end out. Rawr. Hunting for the green end. So now that I have the G string in my hand, it sounds wrong, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm going to unwind it and compare lengths before I even start, because I like the length that the other string was when I started. So here we go. These are thread through, so I got to take the string out from the back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the length of this string to the other one. Okay. So if I straighten that other one out, you can see that it's a good 4 to 5 inches shorter, I hope y'all can see it on the video, than the other string. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and snip the strings so they're the same length. Boop. Okay, so now that I have that snipped, I'm going to make sure that I'm holding the new one and not the old one. I'm going to go ahead and thread it through. Okay, now that I have threaded it through the bass, you may have a different kind of bridge where you just put it on the end instead of feeding it through the body. That's fine, just connect it on the end and pull it through the hole. Okay, so then once you have this, you go up to the headstock of the bass. Hope y'all can see it clearly. And I'm going to stick this end in the hole on the bass. Okay, so you see how inside of there's a hole? Maybe not, just trust me, there's a hole in there. Okay. So there we go. I'm sticking it in there. Bloop. And then bending it and threading it through here. So now I'm going to hold it down. Now for me, sometimes I forget which way to wind the string. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check with the other string to see which way makes it tighter. And the answer is turning it counterclockwise. So I'm going to hold the string down with my thumb. This is about the most important part. Hold it down just past the nut. And then we're just going to turn the knob counterclockwise until it gets tight. This part takes a while. If you have a string winder, which I did at one point, this would be a good point to use that. Where did it go? Underneath my bass. So I'm holding this down and turning this counterclockwise. Make sure to hold down with your thumb. If it gets loose, readjust. try to hold it down as tight as possible near to there. Okay, so right now you might be like, oh no, it's not threaded through the thing, through the nut. Well, I can fix that when it gets close. But don't go too far, or you won't be able to fix it. So here's another angle of what I mean by if it's not threaded through the nut. The nut's this little black piece. Do you see how there's a little place to thread it? While you're holding it down, between the nut and the tuner, it doesn't have to be on there until you get to a certain tension. But as soon as you get tight enough to where you can't move it any further, go ahead and thread it while still holding it down. So with your, yeah, you just kind of thread it through. So here we go. I'm going to use my other hand while holding the camera. Just kind of pull that over, still hold it down, and I'm going to tune it the rest of the way. Tightening it, I'm tightening it, I'm tightening it. Okay. Now it's tight enough. I'm going to thread it and continue. Still pushing down. Now it's tight enough to where I can let go of it. At this point, I could go ahead and use my tuner and tune it up to pitch, or just kind of relatively get the tension right. Okay, so right now it's at an F. I'm tuning up to a G. Too far. Alright, so that's how we change a string. We just repeat the process for every other string. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, now I've got all the strings on, I'm going to tug on each one. Now feel that tension, it's like very loose. So now I'm just going to tune each string up. Okay, so that G is flat. Okay, I'm going to tug on it again and check. Yep, it still went flat a little bit, so the strings haven't set yet. Do the same with the D. Tug on it. And basically just keep doing that until they stop giving, still till when you tug on them they don't go flat. And then your strings are set and ready to play. If you don't tug on the strings, and what I'm doing to tug on the strings, I'm reaching right around where the fretboard starts, just pulling up on them. Some people like to reach right on the 12th fret, pull up on the string like that. Basically, it'll pull on this part until that part's tight, so the coil will be tightly wrapped, even more than it normally is, and that way you'll get down to the string tension that you like. If you don't do this, you'll be out of tune on your first set of playing with the new strings. So go ahead and tug on them. The other thing is make sure you're tuning them to the correct octave, because if you tune them too high, you're putting an unnecessary amount of tension on your neck, and it can actually cause your neck to bend forward a little bit and start to bow. So if you leave them on there too tight, it could make your neck permanently bowed in. So be careful. Alright, they're all ready to go. Alright, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel or check out Stephen Cox Music for more information. Thank you.